Hey there nation, welcome to the show where we help you to play miniatures wargaming on a budget. It is I, Commander Cheapskate, and welcome to another episode of Pandora Fronteris. This is our series of Kill Team Battle Reports where we have a map-based campaign, and this is Battle Report number 6. It is a take prisoner scenario that is fought between my two friends, Scream of the Emo as well as O'Death. Scream of the Emo is bringing the red faction of the Genestealer Cults, while O'Death is bringing the Heralds of Madness of the Thousand Suns. So we are continuing our battle reports for turn number 3 of our map-based campaign. In case if you're tuning in for the very first time in this series, pretty much what Pandora Fronteris is a map-based kill team campaign where 4 different kill teams are fighting each other for territory, for major terrain features, for valor, for prestige, for all that good stuff. And at the same time, we have 4 players that are taking place in the campaign with 2 players who are playing neutral forces. In this case, Scream of the Emo and the red faction are actually one of the players that are trying to conquer the territory, while my friend O'Death is actually playing one of the neutral parties in the campaign setting. And once again, this is a take prisoner scenario that these two will be throwing it down in. So we're going to play some background music real quick. If you want to see exactly what both kill teams are bringing, go ahead and pause and take a look at your own leisure. Just to let you guys know, the little kill team market rosters are highlighted. For the Thousand Suns, all the fighters that are highlighted in blue, those are the guys who will be fighting in this scenario, while for the red faction, all the ones who are highlighted in yellow will be the ones fighting in this scenario for them. So that being said, let's get this battle report on a roll.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dying times here.
Alright, so the scenario for this one is take prisoners. The objectives of the Thousand Suns and the Genestealer Cults are trying to capture each other's fighters. In order to do this, fighters must take an enemy fighter out of action and be within 1 inch of that miniature. For every fighter that for every leader that is captured, they earn 3 victory points and 1 victory point for every other model, and whoever has the most victory points ends up winning. The battle length: the battle lasts 4 battle rounds, and of course on round 5 they roll a d6. On a 3-up, the battle continues. If not, the end battle report ends. And the reward for this one is a critical asset terrain feature, which means that if the red faction manages to secure this territory, they'll be able to recruit an additional specialist to their kill team. So with the scenario rules over, let's go and talk about the battle plan real quick. So here's an overhead shot of the entirety of the battlefield. As you can see, my two friends, Scream of the Emo as well as O'Death, are playing on its typical kill team battle mat. On the upper left-hand corner is where the red faction, the Genestealer Cults, are located at. On the bottom right hand corner is where the Heralds of Madness of the Thousand Suns are located at. Now, as for the battle plan on this one, I'm not really sure my friends' battle plan is because I'm just taking photos for this scenario for the campaign, but I've had a guess that both are just going to try to kill each other as quickly as possible and to try to take as many people out of action as quickly as they possibly can. So with the battle plan over, let's go and talk about deployment real quick. Alright, so first of all, let's talk about the Heralds of Madness, which is the Thousand Suns kill team. Over here on the bottom left-hand corner, the top left, that is Phosis of Vile Deaths. He is an iridescent horror. He's got coruscating flames. He's also a fire team member. Right behind him is Monachmore, the Hate Wind, who is another pink horror. He's got coruscating flames. He's also a psyker, and he's also a member of the fire team as well. Right next on the right-hand side, that character's name is Bastek Spiderflux. He is a hornblower. He's got coruscating flames as well as Instrument of Zeech. He's also a fire team member as well. And right behind them is Fail Craze Beetle. He is a horror icon bearer. He's got coruscating flames as well as Icon of Sneech. He's also a fire team member as well. And every single member of this little 4-man pink horror squad, they're also all psychers with the ability to cast 1 ability and deny 1 ability as well. And then right next to him on the right hand side, that is Skexes of Dark Crystal. He's a Zongor shaman. He's armed with a Force Staff as well as a Discus Niche. He's also a psyker with 1 ability, one power ability and 1 deny ability. He's also a specialist with the Student of the Arcane as well as Sorcerer Elixir ability, and he's also got the Madness of Sneech demeanor. And right behind them is Tahor number 2, as well as Petra, which are 2 Zangors, both of them armed with auto pistol chain swords. Tahor, which is the guy who's armed with a halberd looking thing, he's actually got a Brayhorn, and they're both members of the fire team as well. So with that, we go across the table to the red faction. So starting on the left-hand side, that is Madrax of Innsmouth. He is a neophyte hybrid armed with auto gun, auto pistol, and blasting charges. He's a member of the fire team as well. Right next on the right-hand side, that is Holland the Shipbreaker. He's a neophyte hybrid gunner. He's armed with a seismic cannon. He's also got auto pistol, blasting charges, as well as a fire team member as well. Next on the right-hand side, that is Vinner Griel. He is a neophyte hybrid gunner armed with a grenade launcher. He's got an auto pistol, blasting charges, and is also a fire team member as well. And the back left, that is Zadok Allen. He's an Alkalite hybrid. He's also armed with a hand flamer, rending claw. He's got a cultist knife, as well as a cult icon. He's also got blasting charges. He's also the kill team's communications specialist. He's got the scanner ability, as well as a prosthesizer demeanor. And the very back of the center, that is Grierson Starn. He is a killer morph. He is also commander of this kill team's armor 3 Liberator auto stubs, as well as a cultist knife. He's got hybrid agility, lightning reflexes, inspirational deeds, as well as the enlightener demeanor as well. And then right in front of them as well are 3 Genestealers. On the left hand side, we have the Elder Devil. He's a Genestealer armed with rending claws, scathing talons, toxin sacks, as well as acid. He's also a member of the fire team. He's also got the swift and deadly ability, as well as lightning reflexes ability. Right next to him is the Void Scream, another Genestealer who's also got rending claws, scathing talons, as well as toxic sacks, except he's got flesh hooks. He's also a fire team member as well. He's got the swift and deadly ability, as well as lightning reflexes. And finally, on the right hand side, we have the Hydra Shadow, who's another Genestealer. He's got rending claws, scathing talons, as well as toxin sacks. He's also a member of the fire team as well. He's also got swift and deadly ability, as well as lightning reflexes. And that pretty much makes up the deployment for this one. So with deployment over with, we go directly to the top of turn number 1, and both my friends roll off for initiative to see which of them will be going first. Alright, so we go directly to the top of turn number 1. The first thing we do, of course, is we do the Cult Ambush special rules for the Genestealer Cults. And unfortunately for my friend, Scream of the Emo, the only guy who was able to pass that test was Madrax of Innsmouth. And all he does, he just moves up like 5 inches forward directly towards that ambulance at the bottom of the screen. Alright, so that takes directly to the top of turn number 1 for the Genestealer Cults. My friend Scream of the Emo was able to secure the initiative on this one, and this photo is taken after the move phase. And as you see, both kill teams have moved forward for the most part. So what ended up happening is that my friend decided to, Scream of the Emo decided to advance forward with his 3 Genestealers. So the Elder Devil, the Void Scream, as well as the Hydra Shadow, they move up directly to the center of the battlefield because, let's face it, they're Genestealers, and getting in close combat is what they do best. At the same time, my friend Scream of the Emo also decides to flank towards the bottom, leading up forward with the rest of his kill team, kind of assembling next to that little ambulance there, so that way they can kind of swoop in and catch the Thousand Sons of kind of a pincer attack, with the assault element being the Genestealers, and at the same time the suppressive element with their guns being the rest of the Genestealer cultists on themselves. At the same time, my friend O'Death decided to react. He decided to charge forward with his pink horrors. Unfortunately, 4 of them failed their charges, so they just kind of end up in the middle there, while the other one, which was the Iridescent Horror, Phosis of Vile Deaths, he goes directly into the Elder Devil and catches him in close combat as well. At the same time, to Horror and Petra, they also move up as quick as they can right behind. As you can see in the top there, Skexter Dark Crystal, he advances forward, flying up to the 3rd level of that building, so that way he's within range to launch psychic abilities, but now within range of being attacked or charged. And that pretty much makes up the move phase for this one. So here's a close-up of the Genestealer Cults' shooting elements as they quickly head to the bottom of the table edge in order to flank and to surround the Thousand Sons in a crossfire, being assaulted from the front by Genestealers and being flanked by gunners on the left-hand side. And here's a close-up of the close combat taking place between the Elder Devil as well as Phosis of Vile Deaths. And at the same time, you can see the other 2 Genestealers, the Void Scream and the Hydra Shadow, also occupying the center of the battlefield. And as you can see at the same time, we have a close-up of Bastek Spiderflux, Fail Craze Beetle, as well as Manach Moor, the Hate Wind, moving as quick as they can directly to the center of the table. Same thing with Tahor as well as Petra. And finally, here's a close-up of Skexter Dark Crystal flying up to directly the top level of the building, so that way he can't be engaged in close combat. So the move phase over with, we go directly to the psychic phase. And once again, the second phase is absolutely brutal for the Genestealer Cult on this one. The reason why is because all those pink horrors are also psychers as well. Basically, all of them decided to open up with Psybolt. Same thing with Skex's Dark Crystal. Skex's Dark Crystal was able to take out the Hydra Shadow, put him out of action as well. However, it was Phosis, I believe. No, sorry, not Phosis. It was Monachmore, the Hate One. There we go. He also opened up with his Psybolt directly into the Void Scream. I was able to put a flesh wound on him, so my friend Scream of the Emo got pretty lucky on that one. The rest of the pink pink horrors failed their psychic test, so pretty much ends the psychic phase for this one. So the psychic phase over with, we skip the shooting phase because all the Genestealer Cultists advanced forward, and same thing with the members of the Thousand Sons, so we go directly to the combat phase. And in the combat phase, the Void's Elder Devil had no problem whatsoever putting the hurt directly onto Forces of Vile Deaths. Unfortunately, though, he is a pink horror, so instead of dying, bam, he just pops into 2 blue horrors, and now my friend's Elder Devil is now stuck in a tar pit against blue demons, blue horrors, who eventually transform into brimstone horrors and all kinds of nonsense like that. And that pretty much ends the turn for this one. So here's the end of turn number 1, an overhead shot of the entirety of the battlefield. As you can see, the Genestealers in the middle of the table are slowly being whittled away by psychic abilities, as well as being bogged down in close combat, while the rest of the forces are kind of moving directly towards the bottom to kind of flank the Thousand Sons. At the same time, the Thousand Sons are kind of still occupying the center, but they're holding their own using their psychic abilities, as well as close combat to bog down the Genestealers. So with that being said, we go directly to the top of turn number 2, and my friends roll off for initiative to see which of them will be going first. Alright, so that takes directly to the top of turn number 2, and once again, my friend Scream with the email was able to get the initiative on this one, and this photo is taken after the movement phase. As you can see, some charges went off. First of all, the Void Scream decided to go directly forward and try to charge directly into, I believe it was Bastek Spider Flux, and ended up going into. At the same time, though, it does get countercharged by Nachmor, the Hate Wind as well, so he's getting kind of stuck in a pincer attack that way. At the same time, the rest of the Genestealer Cults kind of fan out there on the bottom of the table to get in a firing line to open fire. At the same time, the Thousand Sons do try to charge forward, but unfortunately for them, though, they don't make their charges for the most part. Tahor and Petra try to head down the bottom towards Holland the Shipbreaker. They fail to make those charges, and I believe it's Fail Crazy Beetle. I believe he also charges in directly into the center as well. And that pretty much makes the move phase for this part. So here's a close-up of Vinegreal as well as Holland the Shipbreaker flanking to the bottom there, trying to get into crossfire with the Thousand Sons. At the same time, you can see that Tahor number 2 as well as Petra, they try to charge forward, but unfortunately though, they just failed. Their charging ability was able to basically close a distance to these 2 members of the Genestealer Cults. And here's a close-up of the center. We have Madrax of Innsmouth on the top of the ambulance getting ready to shoot as well. Now, Gyrus and Starn, my friend Screaming Emo did try to move him up forward. What his original plan was to move him up forward so that way he was in range to open fire with his Kilomorph ability. I forgot the name of the tactic, but it's basically to shoot at all targets within 8 inches of him. Unfortunately, though, he got too close, so because of that failed Craze Beetle, he charged directly into him, so Gyrus and Starn is engaged in close combat. At the same time, the Elder Devil is still engaged in close combat with 2 blue horrors, and at the same time, Zadok Allen also moves up forward, so that way he's in the range to open up with his Hand Flamer. And here's a close-up of Bastek Spider Flux as well as Monachmor the Hate Wind engaging in close combat with the Void Scream. And finally, there's a close-up of Skek's Gristle, who's just kind of chilling out on the top of the battlefield, just planning on raining down psychic fire from his position. So with the movement phase over with, we go directly to the psychic phase. And once again, the psychic phase was extremely painful for the Genestealer Cultists. In this situation, the Void Scream was actually blasted off the table by another side bolt launched by Skek's Dark Crystals, so he automatically goes out of action, and things are not looking very good right now for the Genestealer Cults. So the second phase over, we go directly to the shooting phase, and during the shooting phase, Gyrus and Starn, because armed with pistols, is able to launch that ability where you can shoot all eligible targets within 8 inches. In the end, he was able to pop, Fail Craze Beetle, I believe his name was, as well as Monachmor the Hate Wind. But unfortunately for them, though, because they are pink horrors, instead of dying, they just transformed into 2 blue horrors instead. So now there's a bunch of blue horrors left on the table, just tar-pitting fools like it's nobody's business. And at the same time, Holland the Shipbreaker does manage to put a flush wound directly onto Tahor. My friend Screaming Emo decided to use the long wave on his seismic charge because he wanted 4 shots instead of 2. It's kind of a controversial choice, but he decided to do that because he wanted more shots is what he wanted. Unfortunately, he forgot that Zankor are pretty tough, so because of the only thing he was able to do is put a flush wound on him directly as well. At the same time, Vinegreal does try to open fire with his grenade launcher directly into Skeksis of Dark Crystals, but unfortunately for him, though, he misses his shot for the most part. So with the shooting phase over with, we go directly to the combat phase. And the combat phase, for the most part, the Elder Devil was able to put the hurt on those 2 blue horrors, but those guys, of course, popped into 2 more Brimstone horrors, so now there's 4 Brimstone horrors fighting against him. At the same time, Gyrus and Starn was able to pop one of the blue horrors as well, and now he's dealing with 2 more Brimstone horrors as well. As you can see, just all kinds of multiplication is taking place right here in the center of the battlefield because pink horrors are a huge, huge tar pit. So with the combat phase over, that pretty much takes us directly to the end of the turn. And that takes us to the end of turn number 2, and as you can see, for the most part, the Genestealer Cult are being bogged down in the middle of the table by pink horrors, blue horrors, as well as brimstone horrors, and at the same time, they're also being shot off the table with psychic abilities for the most part, so things are not looking very good right now for the Genestealer Cults, and at the same time, looking very, very well for the Thousand Suns. So that being said, we go directly to the top of turn number 3, and once again, my friends roll off for initiative to see which of them will be going first. Alright, so that takes us to the top of turn number 3, and the Thousand Suns managed to get the initiative on this one, and this photo is taken after the move phase. And as you see, for the most part, there's not really much movement in the center of the table, since most of the actions being taking place between Brimstone Horrors, just kind of bogging down people. The Blue Horrors do try to charge directly into, into the Elder Devil as well as into Garrus and Starn. At the same time, I believe Bestek Spiderflux, he tries to kind of move around the top of this table there, that way he can start giving them range to open fire with his coruscating flames. At the same time, Tahor as well as Petra charge directly into Holland the Shipbreaker. At the same time, Skeksis of Dark Crystal kind of flies directly to the top of the ramp there in the upper left hand corner, so that way he's still within range for his psychic abilities, but out of range of being charged at for the most part. At the same time, the rest of the Genestealers just kind of concentrate into the middle there. The rest of the Genestealer Cult kind of concentrate in the middle there in order to engage in close combat and just to get rid of those Brimstone Horrors. So here's a close-up of the move phase with Skeksis of Dark Crystal just kind of posting himself up there in the top left-hand corner. Still within range in order to lob psychic abilities down to the Genestealer Cults, but within relative safe distance of being charged against, at the same time being shot at as well because he's next to terrain for that -1 to hit. And as you can see, here's all kinds of trouble taking place with Blue Horrors as well as Brimstone Horrors just kind of surrounding everybody right in the middle there and just kind of bogging them down for the most part. As you can see there, we have Madrax of Innsmouth. He's being, sorry, not Madrax of Innsmouth, I'm sorry, Vinergriel. He's basically being engaged in close combat. Same thing with Garrus and Starn. Same thing with the, Zadok Allen as well as the Elder Devil. And here's a close with Vinergriel clicking into place on the top of the ambulance, that we can open fire with the grenade launcher at Skeksis of Dark Crystal. At the same time, Holland the Shipbreaker is being surrounded by 2 Zangor, both named Tahor, as well as Petra. And that pretty much makes up the move phase on this one. And with that, we go directly to the psychic phase, and once again, disaster strikes during the psychic phase. All kinds of bad starts taking place here in the middle of the table. What ends up happening is that Spiderflux, he was able to take out Zadok Allen with a Psybolt. So because that, Zadok Allen goes crashing face down on the ground and goes directly out of action. At the same time, another Psybolt being launched by Skeksis of Dark Crystal goes directly into the Elder Devil and puts him out of action as well. So things are not looking very good right now for the Genestealer Cults. So with the psychic phase over with, we go directly to the shooting phase, and during the shooting phase, Vinergriel also goes out of action. Bezek Spiderflux opens fire with his coruscating flames, hits him twice as well as wound him twice. Cream of the Emo filled his armor save with Vinergriel, and he goes crashing face down to the ground as well, and he is currently bleeding out as well. And with all the losses that he's been taking up to this point, my friend Scream of the Emo decides to kind of call the game at this point. He realizes he's not going to be able to pull off a victory on this one, and the Thousand Suns managed to pull victory on this one. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go directly to the post game because this battle report is now officially over.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
Alright, so first of all, let's talk about the Red Faction. The Red Faction lost 6 people in this battle. Zadok Allen, Vinergriel, Madrax of Innsmouth, the Elder Devil, the Void Scream, and the Hydra Shadow. Now, luckily for my friend Scream of the Emo, all 6 of them made full recoveries, so no harm, no foul being done at this point. For advancements, no members of the kill team did advance at this time. Their resources are still at 0 intelligence, 4 material, 3 morale, and 5 territory. They didn't recruit anybody at this time because they don't have enough points, and their current kill team force is at 236 points. Now let's go talk about the Heralds of Madness real fast. If you're wondering what's up with the yellow highlighting is for the second kill team from the Thousand Suns, who are going to be fighting later on in this current turn. For the injuries, no members of the Heralds of Madness actually suffered any injuries, and the reason why is because the pink hordes that got wounded and taken out of action, they became blue horrors, and so those blue horrors then became brimstone horrors, and until you wipe them all out, they're basically perfectly fine for the most part. Now for advancements, multiple members of this kill team did advance. Phosis of Vile Death, Bestek Spiderflux, Fail Craze Beetle, and Monachmore the Hate Wind, the little pink horror squad fire team, they leveled up to level 2 and they got Die Hard, which means now that anytime you roll injury rolls for them, it's -1 to the injury rolls, so they're a little bit harder to kill now at the same time. For the resources don't really apply for these guys because they're neutral forces, so we skip that. Same thing with recruitment. There's no territory for these guys to recruit with, so we skip that part as well. However, their current kill team force, however, is at 212 points. So that battle over, if we go back directly to the campaign map, as you can see, when it's all said and done, the Genestealer Cults do manage to secure 6 hexes of territory. However, they're unable to secure hex number 15. It is still unoccupied at this point because they failed their advance. At the same time, as you notice down below, we got the Death Guard. They did manage to capture hex number 20. That was done in battle report number 5. So you can see we still have a few more battle reports left in turn number 3. We have another battle report involving the Death Guard, who are invading hex number 30 to secure a second mission critical asset. At the same time, we also have the Adeptus Astartes of the Indomitus Crusades, played by our friend Sergeant Sigmaring, as he tries to take on hex number 13 to secure his monument. At the same time, he was able to secure hex number 16 just because it was unoccupied at this point. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that pretty much ends this battle report. As always, please feel free to like, comment, and or subscribe. Your guys' input is invaluable to us as always. Also check us out on Facebook, Instagram, as well as blogger.com for all the latest greatest hobby news related to this channel. That's good for this one, you guys. We'll catch you guys next one. Peace out and stay classy.